So next up, podcast listeners, a great story, really interesting. And I really hope this happens to most states, that we have really a two-party system that is kind of reignited in these one-party states like Oregon and New York. So in the state of Oregon, which is obviously a deep blue state, a Republican is actually in the lead for governor in Oregon. So Oregon could have its first Republican governor since 1982, according to a new poll, as residents of the deep blue state grapple with crime, drugs, and quality of life issues, particularly in cities. Republican gubernatorial candidate and former member of the State House of Representatives, Christine Drazan, led her opponent, former Democrat Speaker of the Oregon House of Representatives, Tina Kotek, by 2 points in a recent Emerson College poll. Democrats currently dominate the Oregon legislature, and President Joe Biden won the state by 16 points in 2020, with the state's most populous city, Portland, widely viewed as one of the most left-wing places in the country. This is pretty extraordinary, okay? Even for a Republican to be like in the running, but let alone 2 points ahead, ladies and gentlemen, this shows you that there are enough thinking people in the state of Oregon that realize this is not the direction that they wanted to go in. The experiment that they had of cancel the police and the experiment they had of rampant homelessness, of course, in the cities is not working. Look, I have a quick anecdote. I have a friend who went to Oregon and he loves to backpack and go hiking. So he went hiking in the countryside, I guess in the deep woods, the mountains, whatever. I've never been to Oregon, to be honest with you. But he goes there, and keep in mind, he's in kind of the middle of nowhere hiking. And all throughout the woods where he's hiking, you have all these people that are homeless that are living there. They've built encampments like little tent cities, defecating in the streams, on the ground, trash everywhere. This is Oregon. And so obviously one of the big selling points of Oregon is that it's so pristine, so beautiful. And yet the so-called environmentalists that run the state really don't care about the environment, because if they did, they would never let that happen to begin with. So as a result of all of these crazy things, the rampant crime and the rampant homelessness and the lack of understanding of what government is supposed to do, its basic functions that clearly are not working for the citizens of Oregon, you have a Republican that's ahead. Unheard of. Remember, this is a deep, deep blue state. And so is it going to be, a Republican is going to be a super conservative, or I don't know. I'm not here to tell you how wonderful a Republican, but here's the thing. It's someone with a different point of view. Someone with a different point of view who's actually going to run the state, hopefully if she wins, and bring the state in a different direction. If for any other direction, it would be one of common sense, So here are some comments to this article. I was in Portland recently, and the reports you're hearing about the homeless problem is no exaggeration. It's such a beautiful place. It's a shame that the liberals have ruined it. But let me be more clear. The liberals of the 60s and 70s who came into that area were the live and let live variety, not the woke mutants we now have that are taking things to the extreme. Interesting. Here's another one. Even if elected, there's not much she could accomplish without like-minded legislature. Another. Well, in the legislature, if the legislature is compromised of mostly Democrats, good luck in getting anything passed or even vetoed. Back in the day, Oregon used to be known for its car registration fee of only $5. It was only $5 to register your car and then to renew it. Oregon had a small, efficient government. This was in the 70s. Ask any old-timer about that. Then they elected a Democrat in 1982 and have been run by Democrats for 40 years. What does it cost to register a car now? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is all kind of common sense stuff, and I'm hoping that Republicans, when they're running for these kinds of seats, are talking about the truly basic issues of why government is supposed to shrink back to its primary focus, its primary responsibility. And in so doing, we will not only hopefully lob off the $31 trillion debt, but at the same time, bring America back to where it's supposed to be, which is small government, efficient government, and a government that it's actually working for the people, especially when it comes to taking care of homelessness and at the same time, taking care of crime on the streets. And that's it for Mark and the Millennials. Thank you for joining Mark and the Millennials. This is Mark Fisher. Thank you to our producer, Christopher Hopkins. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Getter, True Social, Rumble, and our website. See you next time.